Hi, this is Kevin Thomas, and welcome to the At Home Film Festival. Since Valentine's Day just happened, we are going to look at love. I didn't do it on Valentine's Day because when you're in love or you feel love or express love, you should be able to do it all year long, every year. So I am going to find 7 movies, one for each day of the week for you to watch. I'm going to shy away from ones like Titanic here because I want to have ones with happy endings. And we won't be doing The Way We Were for the same reason. Or even the lovely Moulin Rouge. I love all 3 of those, but happy endings they do not have. So I'm going to focus on 7 movies, all with happy endings. I'm trying to tie in a little international flavor from lovers from different countries still trying to mesh. This is a little salute to someone I call Pookie. Hey Pooks. And of course, since I'm using the word Pookie, one of them will have the word Pookie in it. So what's our 7 movies? Let's take a look now. Let's start with the Pookie movie, Victor Victoria, which you could find for a few dollars to rent on Amazon or even buy it for $5. We may not remember this great Julie Andrews movie was actually a love story. And for the 1980s when it came out, it was very groundbreaking where she plays a woman pretending to be a man, pretending to be a woman. That's how you always have to do the hands. And James Garner is the man that can't believe he kind of likes a drag queen, but he says she's got to be a woman. Anyway, scenes that made this even interesting for the time is when James Garner goes dancing with her as a man, and they're surrounded by a lot of other men. I thought that was groundbreaking for whatever. I think this came out in 1982. Nowadays, we think it's just normal, but it's a very fun movie, great songs, the gays love it. It's also got a cute little side romance between Robert Preston and Alec Karras. Fun, fun, fun if you got yourself a Pookie. Oh my God, Like Crazy on Pluto is so good. It's about a couple that meets in college in England. And then when college is over, they got to resume their lives, but he's from America and she's British. So they start a long distance love affair. This is even before FaceTime time, so it's really hard to maintain such a love. But they do for quite a while. Does it go to the ending? Well, I did have the happy ending idea here, so I won't tell you, but it just kind of did. I Carry You With Me probably is the one that tugs most at my heartstrings on this list, and it only cost a few dollars to rent. It's about 2 men from Mexico that one of them decides he really needs to do something with his son, and he wants to move to the US to help his career as a chef. So that has them apart for quite a long time, decades in fact. And the story is so beautiful and so true to love. It's a hybrid movie because it's based upon a true story, and part of the movie, when they're older, are played by the 2 guys that it's about. So first we have a narrative feature that all of a sudden becomes kind of a documentary. This movie really, really gets me, and since the relationship took so long to happen, it's Kevin's tearjerker of the week. Love, Rosie, which you could find on Paramount Plus and Canopy, is a very formulaic romantic story, but I did like it. So it's about 2 British kids that are neighbors and just best friends forever. So the only thing wrong with this movie is if they just told each other there's feelings, love would have happened sooner, but they allow each other to get involved with other people because they don't know how each other feels. You're kind of dumb to do that. But oh, this movie is just so sweet and thoughtful. And I really, really enjoyed it, even though it does follow a formula. But that's okay with me because I love to have my heartstrings pulled by movies. Similar to A Simple Wedding, we have What's Love Got to Do with It, not the Tina Turner biography movie. This has Lily James, who elevates the story. She's very appealing. By the way, this is also on Hulu and Canopy. So she's the next door neighbor, sounds familiar, to this great Indian guy, but his whole family wants him to marry an Indian, so they arrange a marriage, and she realizes that's still common. And so she's a documentary filmmaker, so she makes a movie about this. Super cute. Obviously, I mean, if you really think there's a spoiler alert, turn away for 5 minutes. 2 minutes. Obviously, they were meant to be together because they're neighbors, and it takes them to be the last people on earth to realize that when everybody else knows it from the jump. And Emma Thompson's in it, and she gives a super funny performance. So that's an extra reason to applaud this film. Our next movie is A Simple Wedding, which I found at a gay film festival, and you could find on Amazon Prime. Now, here we have a straight woman whose family is trying so hard to get married within her tradition and religion, and she is not traditional at all, so she doesn't care. She'd rather meet a man she loves, and she actually meets someone when she's protesting, and he's not of the same faith, so that actually stirs up a whole other story. And he has a gay father, which adds a whole other layer to this movie. And I must say, his mother, played by Rita Wilson, I've always liked her, but never was her biggest fan. This is her best performance as his mother, and she has a sweet side story romance going on her own. So 2 love stories in one. Wow, can't get that often, can you? I take it back. The movie that affects me most on this list is on TCM this month, The Enchanted Cottage. So Robert Young plays a war veteran who gets disfigured in the war. So he was going to get married, but when his bride sees that face, she turns away. So he ends up still buying the house that he was going to live in with her, but he's going to live there alone and sad and crying his own tears. Well, there is Dorothy McGuire who works at that house, and she's just a plain Jane, never expecting to find love. And they end up connecting and falling in love. She not being beautiful, him not being handsome. It seems like love made in heaven. But guess what? They both turn attractive in this movie. Is it magic? Is it a fantasy? Or is it the old adage that people you love get more attractive in your eyes? The only way to find this out is to watch this movie. It's been remade, which I've never seen, which I will, but I find it so hard not to watch this movie every time it's on TV because I love The Enchanted Cottage. And by the way, Cher loved it too. Back in the 80s or 90s, she was going to remake it and play the lead role. Don't know what happened to that, but still, The Enchanted Cottage is enchanting. Well, that's our show of the week. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you all have your own little pookie. And remember, you don't have to wait for Valentine's Day to say I love you or show your love. As we leave, we're having clips of other romantic movies. Hope you watch them too. Hope you remember to share and subscribe. And I will come back next week, still feeling romantic, but with a different theme. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.